Hey guys, here's another episode of Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. Let's jump in and see what happened here today. So as you can see, the Ghia has its bumpers on it, and they are looking fine. So Rafa had actually assembled the front bumper yesterday, and I think this just went on the car today. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this actually, he put this on today. Sometimes I have to kind of think what happened yesterday versus today. Yeah, this went on today. It fought him a little bit. It was a little bit of a struggle, as they always pretty much are on Ghias, but the end result on these is worth the effort because they just look amazing. Wait till the hood's on. It looks kind of silly now without the hood, but yeah, looking super good. The other thing, since we're in the front here, is ignore that seal that's popping off there. We'll put that back on. Is he started making a basically the cardboard parts for a front trunk liner. So our friends at Ghia Parts and Restoration can't find their rivet gun that apparently they need to make the mats that they sell for up here, which are made out of a gray cardboard. They look really good, but we can't get one, and they don't know where their tool is. It's kind of lame, but anyway, so we're gonna make one. So we're gonna so Rafa made these panels here, and then we're gonna basically cover those with carpet that'll match the interior carpet of the car, and it's going to look incredible. So, yep, sometimes you can't get parts, you make your own. But anyway, yeah, so that's going to fit really nice and look really good and go very well with the car. So he also today went through the rear bumper and got it all assembled. I don't remember if he ended up using any parts from the original one. I think pretty much all the parts on the one that we bought were better. So he went ahead and put it together, put all the little seals in it. Ghia bumpers have seals everywhere. They're kind of ridiculous. There's one here against the body. They're really a pain in the ass to put in. There's basically a rubber mount out here, also a pain in the ass to put in. Ghia bumpers, pain in the ass. That's the moral of the story. But again, when they're all on, they just look incredible. You can see these flared out exhaust pipes also went on there. And they look good, very purposeful looking. And for those of you that follow the channel have actually heard these before running on this car. They sound good. They've got a nice kind of growl to them. They don't have this little like bird tweeting sound that the stock ones have. So yeah, kind of fun. Ghias are pretty sporty cars, so it kind of seems like they should have a little bit more of an exhaust tone than maybe a Beetle. Anyway, so those are kind of the main things that he did here today. There might have been a couple other little minor things, but for the most part, that's it. The owner did drop off the vents today, made out of metal, or excuse me, he dropped those off yesterday. I might have mentioned that yesterday. Today, I took those to powder coating. They thought they'd be able to turn them around pretty quick. So hopefully we'll have those, put those in. Windshield goes in pretty much as soon as we make this carpet for the front. Then we can put the hood on, and then that's done. This car is going to be done here before we know it. And we can get it back to the owner. And then he's actually bringing over also from his dad, rest in peace, a original Manx buggy that we're gonna kind of do the same thing through, go through and make it a bitchin' ride. It's been sitting for 20 or 30 years, so kind of same story as this car. Our customer, Jim, his dad had both of those cars, the Ghia and the buggy, and yeah, so we're gonna do kind of the same thing to this one. As far as the 55, I think I forgot to actually talk about this last night because I was kind of distracted talking about what our intern did, and I'll come back to that, but here's the motor. But today, or yesterday rather, or let's see, yeah, I think that was actually yesterday, we finally got these spring plates off. They were a pain in the ass. We ended up using a puller and just a nightmare. Got them off, and then finally got the spring plates and torsion rods came out basically in one piece, and then we got the torsion bars separated from the spring plates once those were off the car. But yeah, so the back can go back together now with the adjustable spring plates and new bushings and everything, and so yeah, it'll be super nice. On the front, more progress up here today. So yesterday I had bolted basically just the beam with its trailing arms on. So today I put on the link pin carriers and with their spindles and so on. I put the bearing races in the rotors, painted the rotors first, put the bearing races on, packed the bearings, put those on, put the calipers on, put the tie rods on, not really adjusted yet, but yeah, the front of this is actually starting to come back together now. And so, yeah, moving right along here. So that's kind of what I did on this one today. I should mention that I've replaced a lot of hardware on here that was probably original. Well, it was like a weird mix of original hardware and not original hardware that was in pretty bad shape. So I pretty much replaced all the stuff here, steering related. One thing I do want to show though, which I was impressed by, is this was one of the studs in the steering box that holds it to the front beam. And you can see how corroded that thing was. I mean, this is a bolt. The whole thing is supposed to be this, basically the same diameter here where the threads are. So you can see how thinned out this thing is in some areas, just pretty much due to corrosion. I think, you know, on this car, it's not that surprising because it's hard to remove as those spring plates were. I think at least the chassis for this car was very, very wet for quite a long time. To have this level of corrosion on a steering box stud, I was kind of blown away. The other steering box stud was also pretty corroded. You know, we can't use these. These are not safe. I mean, if the owner was driving the car and had to, you know, make a quick steering change to avoid an accident or something, I mean, honestly, I could see one of these snapping. Very dangerous situation. So I replaced these with new hardware. This was actually one of his front beam bolts, kind of the same story. You know, I doubt this would have broke, but in good conscience, I couldn't put this back on the car. The other ones were actually fine, but this one, yeah, no thanks. So there you go. As far as the intern today, he did a great job. He actually finished disassembling the motor. So I think at the end of the day yesterday, he had it down to a short block. He came in today about 1 or so and pretty much finished disassembling, or completely disassembled the short block, got it all apart. You can see the connecting rods and stuff there. Everything looked really nice. I haven't measured the case yet, but I feel like this motor may have never been into before, as far as like having a rebuild or a line bore. We'll take some measurements and stuff, but I think this is a really nice case that's maybe original as far as like never having been rebuilt. So yeah, I had him go ahead and disassemble take the fan off the generator, pretty much strip everything down. And so there's the other case half, there's the crank, cam, etc. So some of the stuff will go off to Dave at Performance tomorrow for, he can send it out and have the case media blasted, check the crank, check the case, see if it needs an align bore, and so on. And then in the meantime, our intern can start taking apart the fuel pump, the carburetor, some of that stuff, and redoing that. We'll gather up a complete set of tin for this motor. It's missing some pieces, and probably go ahead and send that stuff out for powder coat. So yeah, it's going to be a super, super nice motor. If anyone's interested, this motor will be for sale when it's done, probably in a couple months from now. Those of you that watch the channel know what our 36 horsepower motors look like. This is going to be no different. So if you're interested, yeah, just keep watching and let us know. But that's it for today. Pretty productive day in the shop, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye.